everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it's time once again for another video. This time out is going to be my pickups for March of 2024, and I'm embarrassed to say I kind of went a little crazy this month, primarily because of the app Whatnot and my favorite seller on their Elfster cards. I venture to say that nearly half of the pickups that I have this month, and there are a lot, came from this one particular seller on Whatnot. So I'm going to actually do something I normally don't do. I'm going to split my pickups into two videos. One is going to be the stuff I got from Whatnot, and this is going to be the stuff I didn't get from Whatnot. This is stuff I got from Disney Movie Club, pickups from the Days of the Dead show that I went to in Chicago, the Criterion Collection. I took advantage of their flash sale that they had, Target, Amazon, eBay, Shout Select, and I think that's it. But that's what I got that wasn't from Whatnot. So I'll get into that, and then I'll do another video that is just the Whatnot stuff. So we'll start with Disney Movie Club, and no surprise, I picked up the 3 James Cameron 4Ks. I picked up Aliens. I have not watched this yet. I've seen the movie, but I haven't watched the 4K yet. I've heard disappointing things about the transfer, that it was done by AI and all this other stuff, but I'm not too particularly worried about it. And then True Lies, which I'm just glad to have on 4K. And then The Abyss, which I did watch on 4K, and I thought it looked pretty good. I haven't watched it. I'd never seen it before from beginning to end. It played in the theater when I managed movie theaters back in 1989. And I used to sit down and watch like bits and pieces of it here and there, but I'd never seen it from beginning to end. This is a damn good movie. I really enjoyed it. So I was glad to finally be able to see that in 4K, no less. All right, this is the stuff I picked up at the Days of the Dead show in Chicago. I was able to go up there, and this is from 2 different sellers. I went to the Severin booth, and then I went to just a random seller, and I don't remember which I picked up from what, so I picked up some Severin titles from the non-Severin booth, so I'll just show you what I picked up. I picked up House at the Edge of the Park, or On the Edge of the Park, I'm sorry, from Deodato with David Hess. I have never seen this, so I was glad to add this to the collection. This is a movie I have seen, but didn't have in the collection. This is Grizzly, one of the Jaws ripoffs from the 70s. This one's pretty awful, but pretty awesome, from William Girdler. I've never seen this one. This is Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. I believe it has another title. Night Warning, yeah. Oops, sorry about the glare. I have not seen that one. That one's from Code Red, so I definitely did not pick that up from the Severin booth. Then I picked up for $15, I picked up the Criterion Collection edition of Videodrome, which is a classic from David Cronenberg. Cronenberg is a filmmaker whose catalog is kind of love-hate with me. I love the movies that I love, but the movies that I don't like from him I really dislike. Also picked up Burial Ground. I actually watched this last night. This is not a great movie, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of Italian cheese. This is from 1980. This is also known as The Night of Terror, I believe, or Night Terrors, something to that effect. Yeah, there's a reversible cover, but The Nights of Terror, I think it is, something like that. It has the actual title on the title screen in the movie, but yeah, this I'm glad I picked it up, but I would recommend it hesitantly unless you know what you're getting into with Italian horror. This is a double feature I picked up from the Severn booth. I know I got it from them. This is an Al Adamson double feature, Dracula versus Frankenstein and Brain of Blood. Al Adamson is just a filmmaker that totally just captures my imagination with the way he made movies. I was very upset that I could not get a hold of the Al Adamson collection, which is now going for ridiculous money on eBay and is out of print. But I will pick up whatever Al Adamson pictures I can find on Blu-ray separately. He's just kind of amazing in all the worst ways. And then this, and I have not seen either one of those films, by the way. And then this I picked up. I've seen this. I have this on DVD, but I picked this up. This is the Canadian Steelbook of The Witch. The seller couldn't tell me if this was where this was from, and then I just did a little research on Amazon, and I picked this up. This was, I think he was selling this for $30. So I picked it up. It came with a digital copy and the DVD and the Blu-ray. But glad to have this. I probably overpaid for it, but I just wanted to have it in the collection. All right, next up are some Criterion Collection stuff that I picked up from Criterion directly from their flash sale. Picked this up. I have added this to my collection before and gotten rid of it and added it back. This time it's to stay. It's the Qatsi trilogy with Keona Qatsi, Pawa Qatsi, and Nakoya Qatsi. I'm probably mispronouncing those. I've only seen the first one of this trilogy, but these are just fascinating sort of explorations of nature versus technology. And they're sort of, I don't know, you can kind of zen space out while you're watching them. At least the first one is. I haven't seen the other two, but I'm very interested to watch them. But I really enjoyed the first one. I've seen the first one twice and really like it. I just want to see the other two. And then I picked up The Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I finally got a chance to watch. I did not watch this copy of it, but I did watch it on Max and wanted to add it to the collection. I really enjoyed this. I am not a huge Wes Anderson fan, but I loved this movie. I thought this was fantastic. Just the humor in it and just the jokes and I know it's an animated film and it's, you know, it's definitely, it's based on the Roald Dahl book, but I haven't read the Roald Dahl book, but I don't know how close it is to it, but it's very, very adult in its humor. At least the film is. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. I can't really explain it, but that's by far my favorite Wes Anderson film. And then I did watch this as well. 12 Angry Men. I did watch this copy. This is a fantastic movie. I had never gotten a chance to see this. This has Henry Fonda. Oh, geez, who the hell is in this? This has Henry Fonda, Lee Cobb, Ed Begley, E.G. Marshall, Jack Warden, Martin Balsam, John Fiedler, Jack Klugman, Edward Binns, Joseph Sweeney, George Voskovec, and Robert Webber. Absolutely fantastic movie. By far the best movie I watched in the month of March. Just phenomenal. I highly recommend this movie. I've also placed an order for the 1997 version, which comes highly recommended to me from people who've seen it. I ordered that from Kino Lorber, and that should be here sometime this month in April. But this is the 1957 version and well worth adding to your collection. And if not adding to your collection, at least seeing. Okay, next up is stuff I picked up from Amazon. Iron Claw, I saw this in the theater, really enjoyed it. It is not a uplifting movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it is about the Von Erichs. If you like wrestling, you probably know that name. You probably know what happened to them. The story is so tragic that they had to leave one of the tragic stories out. But Zac Efron is in this, along with Jeremy Allen White and Harris Dickinson, Maura Tierney, Lily James, Stanley Simons, and Holt McElhaney. It was written and directed by Sean Durkin. I highly recommend this, specifically for Zac Efron's performance. Really, really good movie, but definitely not one you want to see while you're depressed, but it's a really good movie. Also picked up ISS. This was a blind buy. I did watch this, and I was really disappointed with it. This was a fantastic premise that they really didn't do anything with. It was definitely unpredictable. I couldn't have predicted what was going to happen in this movie, but I don't know, the way it panned out really wasn't what I was expecting, or something that I enjoyed. I take that back. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It just wasn't what I was expecting it to be, or anywhere near as good as I would hoped it would be. If you can pick this up cheap, it's definitely worth tracking down, but just don't get your hopes up too high. I apologize. My furnace just kicked on, so it may be hard to hear me in a minute. Also picked this up. This is a movie that I haven't seen recently, but I have seen, and definitely need to rewatch. This is Network from 1976. It is a movie that probably is really dated, but still the message of it is still timely, and people watching it now would probably end up making fun of the hairstyles and the clothing styles instead of paying attention to the message of it, which is that, you know, TV just plays too big of a role in our lives and manipulates things, and you know, we put too much emphasis on what we see in TV, and now the internet, and I don't know, it's definitely something that needs to be seen along with 12 Angry Men. I think if you had a double feature of anger and rage, 12 Angry Men and Network would probably be a good double feature. Adding to my collection of classic horror, I picked up the Frederick March. Well, Frederick March is in this movie. This is the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde that was directed by Carl Strauss, I believe. Struss? And I have never seen this. I have heard about it my whole life, but I've never seen this, so I wanted to add it to my collection. I'm very familiar with the Robert Louis Stevenson story, which I have read, but I never saw this version of the movie, so I want to rectify that. And then that was the end of the Amazon pickups. From Target, I picked up the Shout Select version of Over the Edge, one of my favorite movies of the 70s. I already have the Arrow video version from Europe, but I wanted to get this because it had some different special features. And I had a Target gift card that was burning a hole in my pocket, so I figured I would order this from them. So I pre-ordered it and just patiently waited for it to come, so that's where I got that. And then from Shout Select directly, I ordered some of these. This is Glengarry Glen Ross, which has a fantastic cast. Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon, Alec Baldwin, Ed Harris, Alan Arkin, Kevin Spacey, Jonathan Pryce. Glengarry Glen Ross. I have not seen this since the late 90s, I think. When was this released? 1992. I think I last saw this like in 1999. So it's way overdue for a rewatch. So I wanted to get this in my collection. It is a brutally funny film. And the screenplay, who was it written by? Oh, David Mamet. Well, that explains a lot. That's David Mamet is a writer that I really enjoy most of his, or I don't want to say most of his, but there was a period while I was in college that I was watching a lot of David Mamet's work, and this would have been one of those, so that's probably why I watched it. But anyway, it's a fantastic movie. This is a movie that I haven't seen since the 80s. I had this on a recorded off of TV VHS, but this is Biloxi Blues, and it's been so long I don't remember anything about this other than I really enjoyed it. This stars Matthew Broderick and Christopher Walken. Was written by Neil Simon, directed by Mike Nichols. Yeah, and I really just want to reintroduce myself to this again because I haven't seen it, excuse me, in a very, very long time. So Biloxi Blues. And sounds like I got a loose disc in there. That's not good. This is going back to my childhood, going back to the drive-in. My parents would take me to see the Billy Jack movies. I don't know which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't, so I bought the whole collection just to revisit them for the hell of it. This is the Billy Jack collection. This includes The Born Losers, Billy Jack, The Trial of Billy Jack, and Billy Jack Goes to Washington. I've probably seen Billy Jack and The Trial of Billy Jack, but I just remember the character more than the movies, so I just wanted to revisit them. Just kind of relive my childhood because Billy Jack, for whatever reason, I remember enjoying the movies a lot. And then I picked up on 4K Point Break, the original, with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. Wanted to add this to the collection because, believe it or not, I've seen this once, and that's when it was in the theater, and I don't remember a damn thing about it. So adding this back to the collection, or to the collection. And these next, the rest of these are from eBay. Picked this up. This is the Lon Chaney Warner Archives Classics collection. It includes 6 Lon Chaney films, of which I've only watched one so far, and that was called The Monster, which was a horror comedy from 1925 that was actually pretty funny. Very weird, very unique, but very interesting. Although Lon Chaney was not the featured actor in it, the actual actor who was featured in that film was Johnny Arthur, who is sort of a it was sort of a slapsticky role, but I'm interested to watch the rest of these movies. And then I picked up The Faculty, watched this for the first time. I really enjoyed this. I always got this movie mixed up with another film that came out in the 90s around the same time that dealt with high school kids, and I'll have to put the name at the bottom of the screen because I can't remember the name of it now. But this is by far the better film. And this was done by Kevin Williamson. He directed, or I'm sorry, he wrote it, and it was directed by Robert Rodriguez. But this includes a cast that includes Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall, Laura Harris, Josh Hartnett, Famke Janssen, Piper Laurie, Bebe Neuwirth, Robert Patrick, Usher, Jon Stewart, Elijah Wood. So this was really, really good. I really enjoyed this a lot. And the other movie that I'm mixing it up with, I didn't like at all. And I remember people talking about this one, and they kept saying, "Oh, it's so good, it's so good." And I'm like, that movie sucked. But it wasn't that. It wasn't this movie. It was the other one that I can't remember the name of. And then I also picked up That Thing You Do with Tom Hanks. Really enjoy this movie. Kind of a light. Well, it's not really light. There's some heavy parts to it, but it's a very entertaining music comedy dealing with a 60s band that rises to prominence and is a one-hit wonder, and they are aptly named The Wonders. Liv Tyler's in that, and Tom Everett Scott, and it was written and directed by Tom Hanks. Very, very good movie. I picked up an extra copy of Gran Turismo, so if you need a copy and would like to trade this for something, I have another copy of this. I also picked up a copy of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which just now means I have all the Mission Impossible movies and now I have to watch them. I've only seen the first one. I also picked up Thanksgiving from Eli Roth, which I have not seen yet. Maniac Cop from the 80s, starring Bruce Campbell and Tom Atkins. An excellent movie that I have not seen in a long time. It also features the guy with the big giant chin, Robert Zadar, who always makes an impression when he's in a movie, but this is really good. And then Deep Star 6, which I did for, I think I did for the Halloween 15 not too terribly long ago, but didn't have in the collection. And then last but not least, this came in at the beginning of the month. And thanks to my buddy Kenny from Kenny's Movie Palace, he let me know about this and I took advantage of the deal. This was a Ray Harryhausen special edition collection, which includes a few Ray Harryhausen special effects films that I did not have in my collection, including Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, I think, definitely Three Worlds of Gulliver, Mysterious Island, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Yeah, I was able to pick this up for a decent price, and very glad I did. Comes on two sets, so yeah. So there you go. That's what I picked up. Well, that's what I picked up from Whatnot. So I'll be doing another video that explains or shows you what I got from Whatnot in the next video. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video, which should be coming up very shortly. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.